Greetings, everybody. This is Inga Belinkina. I am admissions and enrollment coordinator at the Academy of Healing Nutrition. And today we are doing a webinar devoted to nutrition coaching career. So we have a great program that is starting actually next weekend, October 6th, 7th. And the program is devoted to um, preparing nutrition coach professionals. And we also have a title that is specific to the program, Longevity Diet Specialist. So today we're going to talk about how you can have a career in nutrition coaching and what are the skills required for it and how you can market yourself and make a business out of this area of your interest. So today I have invited Roger Green, who is Academy Director and founder, and I would like to hand it on to him to present the program and what it covers and how the program was founded. So, Roger, are you here?
Good evening, everybody. Hello from New York.
Hello.
So I would like to quickly introduce myself. I've been involved with health counseling for nearly 30 years, and I was originally involved with the East West Centre in London, and that's essentially where I started my career in health counseling. I went back to Australia and started this curriculum. And so essentially this curriculum is about, 25, 26 years old. And I brought this curriculum to New York about 7 years ago. And I consider that I've got some of the best teachers in the world, people that I've been professionally involved with for some time, including William Tara, who was the founder of the East West Centre in London. At the time, that was pretty much a pioneering institution about health and food as medicine. Also, it brought into awareness the whole macrobiotic philosophy and Taoist philosophy, shiatsu, traditional Chinese medicine. I personally went on to study traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture, and that's pretty much what I consider what's unique about this program, is that we really have brought together what I consider the most time-tested philosophies and theories around food as medicine. So we draw on, macrobiotics, traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic, and the Weston Price Foundation, which is a very unique grassroots movement here in America, based on the very interesting teachings of Weston Price, who visited for many decades cultures of longevity. And we also bring in Western nutritional theory into our curriculum. So we really do have a beautiful synergy of the philosophies around food as medicine. It's also a very practical, experiential curriculum. 4 out of the 10 modules are practical cooking. You'll learn some amazing cooking techniques from our instructors. And I'm going to take you through a very quick journey about our 10 modules. So I'll talk about that later. But just for now, the real essence of the longevity diet, of course, is seasonal, traditional, sustainable, nourishing. So you really get a very deep grounding in what we call real food, real nutrition, and you'll learn how to prepare it. So it's not just talking about it in class. You'll get to eat it and taste it and see it prepared and so forth from our experienced chefs. And of course, what we branded as the longevity diet really draws together a lot of wonderful philosophies, for everything from the energetics to the nutrition to the the aspects of superfoods and super tonics and so forth. And of course, these days, everybody's catching up with us in terms of it's all supported by, modern research. Moving on to the next slide. So in my module one, I teach what I consider the ingredients of the longevity diet. So we study all of the food groups. We don't have any dogma in this curriculum. We study all of the food groups, and then we start to look at the foods in terms of the energetics, you know, the yin and yang nature. I mean, is it warming? Is it cooling? Does the energy go towards the center? Does it go towards the periphery? Does it have a sort of a grounding energy to it, or does it have like a releasing energy to it? So this kind of knowledge has been around 6,000 years in traditional Chinese medicine, and it really gives you a very practical, grounded sort of compass to start to use food as medicine. You'll learn how to apply the 5 elements, for instance, in terms of, you know, eating with the seasons and how food starts to relate to the organs of the body. And so we start to explore different cooking styles and colors and shapes and the whole realm of the energetics. And Marion, who you'll be hearing from in this webinar towards the end of this webinar, which she's going to be talking about the career and business development. Marion also teaches on the module 1, and she explores, you know, the biochemistry of food and mood and so forth. So it's everything that you need to know about the longevity diet we start to get into in module 1. Module 2 is your first cooking class with Melanie Ferreira. Similar to me, she's been a pioneer of natural medicine in the West. Very similar background, originally started with macrobiotics, then went on to study traditional Chinese medicine, and now she's a real expert in the Western price principles. So her classes cover a lot of information, as well as it's a practical cooking class, and I've gone out of my way to run cooking classes for nearly 27 years because it really, in my opinion, it's the only way you're going to learn, you know, how to change your diet and move into, you know, eating more healthy. As when you're around these experienced chefs, you can really experience it on many, many levels. So Melanie is an incredible teacher. My module 3, I explore what we call health assessment. Through the eyes of traditional Chinese medicine, which is in fact pretty easy to learn. We go through the principles of, you know, how to gather the signs and symptoms into imbalances of the body. Like, for instance, when your kidneys get weak, how does that, you know, appear in terms of, you know, your energy levels and parts of the body, or if somebody has a deficiency in the digestive or the spleen energy, or if your liver starts to get too hot. So it's a very easy to encompass philosophy, and you have a lot of fun applying this to your own life because it really gives you the grounding to become your own doctor, as well as to be effectively working with your clients in the future in terms of health assessment and giving your clients some guidelines, energetic guidelines as to what's going on with their health. So, and also important, very important for us is the body types. Now we explore them through two aspects, traditional Chinese medicine and later on with Robert Sachs in our Ayurvedic module. I take you through the 4 important body types that are used in traditional Chinese medicine to understand your constitutional type. And once you learn, you know, the constitutional types, you get a deeper understanding of how foods affect your constitution. Natural medicine is basically about maintaining and supporting your constitution so you don't get a disease or an ailment in the first place. So it's a very deep understanding of preventative medicine. Now, module 4, we get back to our practical cooking classes. So you'll see that the practical cooking classes are strategically integrated into curriculum as you go along. So you learn, you know, some ingredients, then you see how they're prepared for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then you'll learn some more health maintenance from me, and then we're back in the cooking class with some more information from Melanie. Each of Melanie's classes has a particular theme to it, and this one she really gets into the importance of probiotic foods and understanding omega fatty acids and so forth. Now, module 5, is with William Tara, who is a phenomenal teacher. It was through Bill's activities that the whole, for instance, the whole macrobiotic movement got established in Europe and in America way back in the late 60s, where basically the only thing around was, the Rudolf Steiner movement and macrobiotics. They're the ones that got organic farming put back on the map and brought into awareness the whole theme of traditional foods and traditional diets and food as medicine, and how food is really, really an important aspect of degenerative disease. So Bill's been counseling for over 40 years, and he brings an incredible wealth of knowledge and experience to the curriculum. Module 6, we get into more practical cooking, looking at superfoods, and we also look at how to prepare animal foods. As I mentioned before, this is not any one particular diet. We've termed the phrase longevity diet because it encompasses everything, and our students professionally can start to work with all of the food groups, but they will learn how to do veganism really, really effectively, or vegetarianism very, very effectively. And if they do choose from some of the animal food groups like fish or poultry and so forth, they learn how to really prepare these foods in a balanced way. Now, module 7 is back with a very practical weekend, what we call the Barefoot Doctor. This is you learning the sort of the time-tested techniques of acupressure and some basic shiatsu techniques and some home remedies, and also some superfood preparations. And we get into some compresses like the ginger compress. So it's a weekend of just a lot of fun, and it's very, very grounding in terms of practical information that you can use to safeguard your health and deal with ailments for your children and with your family members and so forth. And of course, these are the sort of techniques that you can easily pass on to your future clients to give them the sort of sense of empowerment that they can do things naturally for basic pains and aches and general ailments. Module 8 is our Nam Singh teacher. He's a very interesting background. He grew up in Taiwan and was one of the pioneers of traditional Chinese medicine in California. He has a real passion for food as medicine, and what he learned since childhood is all the Chinese herbs and how to use them in cooking. Now, there's a very interesting theme to our cooking classes that we start to take you to another sort of quantum leap. With it's not just gourmet whole food cooking that you'll learn. You'll start to learn about the powerful effects of some of these Chinese herbs and how they can really strengthen your kidney energy, your liver, which all of these organs have a particular an emotional and psychological aspect to them. So in his class, it's a practical class. You'll learn about the 3 treasures of very, very important Chinese medicine concept. We'll go through the 10 to 15 basic herbs that you can put into your soups, your broths, your teas. It really is a lot of fun. We even incorporate a tour of Chinatown. So you really get to know some of the time-tested herbs that you can use in cooking. Now, Module 9 is our Ayurvedic expert, Robert Sachs. He's been a pioneer of Ayurvedic philosophy and meditation in America. He's a well-known author. He takes you through, Ayurvedic philosophy, Ayurvedic healing, various foods, and also the Ayurvedic body types that I've mentioned before. Very, very important for you in your future work with clients to get a sense of, what constitutional energies they're made up of and how you can balance them. And he also takes you through some structure in terms of meditation and spiritual practices, including the 5 Tibetan exercises. And of course, he brings into his training, his 35 years of working with clients in terms of counseling strategies and coaching techniques. And then module 10 is our business and coaching module. Now we integrate this throughout the curriculum. It just doesn't happen, at the very end. But the last module here with Marion and Inga, they really go deeply into coaching and counseling techniques, and we've got some wonderful course materials for this. But we do weave it in throughout the training, like how you would present this information to other people and how you can communicate these ideas to other people. But this weekend, the last module was very, very geared up to how you can successfully start to develop your business as a health counselor and longevity expert. So I'm going to hand this over to Marion now, and she'll tell you more about that.
Okay, thanks, Roger. Hi, I'm Marion, and as Roger mentioned, I help teach some of the weekends at the Academy. I took this program a number of years ago. I was one of the first students in the U.S. when Roger brought it to America. And since then, I have been working as a nutrition coach. I call myself a healing food specialist because I really do specialize in foods that help people heal from illness and other, just simple forms of discomfort. In addition to my coaching, I'm also a teacher. So I teach at the Academy, but I also teach workshops both at adult schools, alternative health centers, corporate workshops, and I do private workshops as well. And my coaching right now, the way that I work it is, it's really wonderful because I do it in a number of ways. I coach from home using Skype and the telephone. I also have an office that I go to. So I'm able to offer my clients more than just an office visit. If I have a client that lives far away, for example, one of my clients I've had a few clients in different countries. I can talk to them through Skype, so it's a really wonderful time to be able to reach people. So Inga, could I have the next slide? There we go. When I took the Academy course, I at that point had been really looking for something to help me for myself, both learn how to heal with food, but I really wanted to help people heal with food because I just felt it was such an integral part of the whole process of healing to really know what's in the food that's going to help us. So the longevity diet is what really helped me. It helped me heal myself from adrenal fatigue, which I had when I began the program. But it also helps me with absolutely all of my clients in the sense that no matter who comes to me, if they come for weight loss or digestive issues or pain, some people are getting over surgery that come to me, all different reasons. The longevity diet fits because it's really incredibly simple in some ways, in that the foods, by understanding where a person is coming from, by being able to use the Oriental Health assessment techniques, looking at the body language, looking at the facial tone, the tongue, everything that our clients are telling us from the way that they look and what the questions that we ask them. By knowing this information, I can then take ingredients from the longevity diet, which include, the best foods plant-based foods or animal products, whatever it is, and I can guide my client in the best foods for them depending upon their condition. Not everybody needs the same foods, and that's very important to understand, is that just because one food might be very beneficial for one person, it might not be for another person. Somebody who is very has a lot of heat in their body, maybe very red tone, and maybe has excess weight, high blood pressure, something like that, that client is going to need green foods, a lot of very cooling foods, things that are going to bring down inflammation. Somebody who might be very weak from an illness, or it could be resulting from some way that they're eating. That person might need a completely different diet. If they're cold, they get cold a lot, or if they are very pale, they're going to need warming foods. And so this is what I learned from the longevity diet. This is what our students learn, is how to understand how to look at your client and then know how to guide them with the food. And it really is empowerment for the client. I show clients what they can do for themselves. And when my clients learn what to do for themselves, they can help themselves. It's self-empowerment. And once the body has what it needs, it can then turn on the self-healing. And that's really miraculous to see. I've had clients come to me with digestive issues that they had gone to many doctors for. And once they learned exactly what to eat, everything changes. And it's really a wonderful thing for them to know that just by making some simple changes in diet, they can feel a lot better. And that's what this program is all about. It's learning how food affects us, and then showing our clients how to do the same thing. So with the program, along with the longevity diet, we teach really how to go from ground zero, where you started the program. You go through the program, and throughout the program we're teaching you how to do counseling. We're bringing in the coaching techniques and all of that. The last weekend is really focused on this, and we talk about how to set up your own nutrition coaching practice. You can do it from something as simple as a letter to everybody saying, okay, this is what I'm doing. I mean, that's how I started. I started with a letter that I sent out to about 50 people and announced what I was doing. I put my business card in the letter, and before I knew it, I had clients trickling in. In the very beginning, I had clients, and I done a lot of teaching as well. That's another way that I bring clients into my practice. I do a lot of social media. I have a newsletter. I do things on Facebook. So there are a number of things that I'm doing for my own practice, and this is what we teach our students to do for their own practices, if that's what they decide to do. So there are a number of techniques that we talk about that last weekend to get your business up and going, from the very basic thing of setting up well, it's not basic, but setting up a website. We talk you through it. This is something we give you the basics information about. Doing your business card, getting a tagline, thinking of your business name, all sorts of things. Inga, do you want to add anything there? Inga? Oh, I guess she didn't hear me.
Yes.
Disappeared for a couple of
oh, okay. All right. Because Inga helps teach this weekend as well, the last weekend, where we're really focusing on the marketing techniques. Anyway, okay. But if Inga has something to add there after this, we can do that. So can we have the next slide? Okay. So during the program, and especially during the last weekend, we talk about the types of services you can offer. Okay, so some of our students might do cooking for people. I mean, you learn enough about how to cook food in the way that's going to be nutritionally the most beneficial, how to show your clients how to do that. That's something that I actually, when I started, I was doing a lot of that for people. I would go to their homes and show them how to make certain foods that were going to be really, really good for them. I also did a little private cooking for people as well. And that's just one service. Of course, you can teach, and you can teach workshops in different places in your community. You can teach workshops online. You can develop programs to teach online, webinars and other programs like that. We have students who work for different organizations who need a nutrition coach to be on site, to work as a part of the corporate environment, or we also, one of our more recent clients, she's from Italy originally, and she's working with an Italian company that's setting up a nutrition coaching program within their company. So there are many services that you can offer. I mean, they really run, there's a really big variety of services that you can offer. It's too much to list here, but I think I gave you an idea. We also talked the last weekend about specialties and building a niche area. I find that especially with nutrition coaching, it's very, very important to have your own area of expertise. Most people who take our program have some sort of issue, either an illness or some kind of discomfort or some circumstance that they learn to heal with food or with some of the holistic techniques that we teach. So for example, one of our students from a few years ago, she had an eating disorder. And at the Academy of Healing Nutrition, now this is not where she healed her eating disorder, but what she did was she took the information and she now specializes in helping people with eating disorders. And this is something that we really recommend, is that you take your own experiences and build them into your specialty, and take what you learn at the Academy of Healing Nutrition to fortify your knowledge, to really put the two together, so your own experience with what you learn at the Academy of Healing Nutrition. And in addition to that, the last weekend, we talk about how to set up programs and packages. So things that you can take your specialty, everything that you know, and then put it into some sort of package. For example, maybe a 6-week weight loss program, or a 6-week get your digestion back on track, or transform fatigue. There are a number of things that you can do, but we talk about how to do that and the best ways to do that. Okay. So Inga, what are we going on to now?
So we just, I feel like we need to round up all the main points that people carry out of this program. And just to mention that if someone already has the passion for nutrition and they're really helping out everybody around and giving advice. And people go to them to hear what is good for them or to learn about a certain nutrient or a diet. And if you're already there, then the next logical step is to actually turn it into something profitable and make it a career. So the program offers the tools that you can use to become a nutrition coach. And you will learn how to not just secure your own health and help your family and friends, but also how to become a resource in your community and to be able to answer people's questions confidently and know with the help of the tools like the Oriental Health Assessment, um, how to really read the people's health and help them to understand how their own bodies work. So again, it's all going back to not fixing your clients, but empowering them to become their own doctor.
Yes,
Um,
yes. It's important to, what we really teach in this program is that you need to walk your talk. And so when, it's very experiential, no matter if you're doing it online or if you're in the class. The way that you learn how to do this is by doing it yourself. And that's when you can guide others, because that's the only way you can guide others.
right. Roger, do you have any final words?
I just wanted to briefly mention some of the other aspects of the curriculum. For instance, we've got some very good resource material. We've got excellent workbooks, and we've also got a virtual classroom. So every time you attend a module, you can go to the virtual classroom, and there's a review quiz that you can do, and there's
Roger?
Roger? Hmm.
I guess
I
Roger
guess we
has
lost.
disappeared for a second, but we can continue a little bit. So the program is 10 modules, which stretch over 9 months. And people,
aspect of the curriculum.
Oh, he's
excuse me.
back.
Are you there? And
Yeah.
the thing is, if if you need to miss a weekend, you can sort of catch up with it with your own desktop viewing in your own time. And sometimes, of course, we have our students, national students coming flying in to attend, the practical weekends, and they might do the theory and philosophy weekends online. So it's a very flexible curriculum in that way. So I hand it over to you, Inga.
Okay, so going back to what I just added in, um, the program starts on October 6th, 7th, and there are 10 modules as Roger has described. And the program ends in June, so it's 10 modules, 10 weekends over 9 months. And students have an opportunity to come to the live classes in New York City and also do the course completely online or a combination of the live classes and the online learning and viewing of the recordings of the modules. So it's pretty flexible, and in between the weekend sessions, they can participate in the online classroom. And we also often suggest the students to set up some kind of group where they can interact with each other. But we also offer the online forum in the classroom and a chat room if students would like to interact in between the sessions. And it's always helpful to pair up with somebody like a study buddy and go over some of the materials, because this is where the learning is happening, when you can sit down with someone who is studying the same and bounce the ideas off each other. And you may form some long-lasting relationships in this program and create allies in your future work. We often have people come into this program who are already practitioners of some sort. They're either acupuncturists or coaches, or personal trainers. We have yoga instructors and estheticians. So people who are already in the either nutrition or holistic health field, and you will be able to connect with your classmates as well as the teachers, and um, get some ideas or even plans for future collaborations. So we always suggest people to attend as many weekends live in New York City as possible. And for everything else, there is the classroom. So I feel like we should maybe ask if our listeners have any questions. So let's see if we get any questions. If you have any questions, please type them in the questions box, which is in your control panel on the left side, and we will try to cover it, either one of us, of the three of us. In the meantime, Roger and Marion, would you like to add something?
Marion,
Uh,
you want to add anything?
Trying to think. If I think of something, I will add something.
I think we've just about covered it. I mean,
Yes.
we've given you a good sense of, how the 10 modules are, structured, and basically it's a 10-month journey into the dynamics of really understanding food as medicine on a practical, experiential level as well as a academic, intellectual level. My personal experience with this is, I started this kind of eating really over 30 years ago, and I've pretty much devoted my life to helping other people with this, because when I started to eat this way, I had phenomenal health things happening, and I haven't been sick ever since. And I've taught thousands of seminars. I've traveled, 5 million miles, and I've never had a day off work. So just with some very, very simple understanding about food as medicine, you can really safeguard your health and increase your vitality, and you can really get a lot of mental clarity and spiritual insights into, the order of things, how we relate to nature and the cosmos and one another. So I really encourage you to consider the curriculum if you want to, deepen your understanding of, what it means to be a human being, and also to meet the challenges and the sort of environmental stresses of our time. It really gives you a lot of practical skills to do that.
We have a question here. What are the main differences between your courses and those offered by IIN? So I guess we should. Mm, okay, yes. So Institute for Integrative Nutrition.
I would say the first thing is that we are an in-house training. It means that and that's, I think with this kind of material, you're really like showing up to class and getting to know your other students and being around the osmosis effect of our faculty members. There's nothing that can replace that, even though we also have our online curriculum for those who simply just can't make it to New York. Really, the ideal way of learning this is, in an in-house, in-class setting. Secondly, we offer practical training in terms of 4 out of our 10 weekends. working with, you know, our experienced chefs, namely Melanie and Nam-Sing. And that's worth its weight in gold. I mean, I've insisted on this in my curriculum for, you know, the last 27 years. So I've been crazy enough to run a cooking school for the last 27 years. Now, most other curriculums with food as medicine don't do that. There's, you know, we're one of the few that offer the practical cooking classes, because they just, a lot of the other curriculums just talk about food, and you don't even get to see it or eat it or touch it. Whereas you will learn on all of the levels that you need to learn if you're going to be an effective healer and an effective counselor. So I would say that they're the two main themes that make us quite unique and different from all of the other curriculums out there. Now, maybe Marion, you might have something to add?
Well, I would say the longevity diet, you know, I obviously I haven't been to IIM, but I know many people who, I know some people who have gone there, and my impression of the difference, speaking from that, is that we really are looking at the principles of the longevity diet, as opposed to, say, uh, maybe 100 different types of diets. Um,
Yeah,
you know, because
that's a very good point. You know, that we're working with what I call the time-tested theories and philosophies around you know, food as medicine. It's very easy to get confused around food, and if you sort of explore, you know, if you're looking at all the 101 different diets out there, then you're going to probably get even more confused. Whereas if you start to look at, you know, what's been time tested and used, and really start to understand the energetics, then, you know, that's what we call the longevity diet. You can really start to decide what's going to work for you as well. And so, yeah, that's a good point, Marion.
yeah.
Inga, have you got some comment?
Well, yeah, I agree with you. I often get this question from people who call me with inquiries. And one of those differences between the courses is the focus on, um, uh, I mean, the difference between focusing on different diets and dietary theories, as opposed to just picking the principles as we do in the program from all the time tested theories and practices, such as Chinese medicine and Ayurveda, and the experience of the cultures of longevity, and understanding how the body works from the point of view of energetics and the movement of energy between the organs and systems. And this is what really um, rounds up your understanding of the body and how health works. So you don't have to learn the information that you don't know how to apply, but really the practical principles that will help you to really custom tailor the diets to your client's needs.
Right.
So, Margaret, I hope that we answered your question. And do you have any other questions? Okay, Margaret is saying thank you. So I guess we answered the question. Let's see if we have any other questions from our listeners. Okay, I have another question. Uh-huh. When can you open a school in Texas? Roger, can you answer that?
Well, we often get asked, you know, where we're going to open schools. Um, just for your reference, we actually did run this curriculum for many years in London, and we also ran it in California for many years, and of course Australia. What we've decided to do is just essentially, especially now with the combination of online training and then people being able to get to New York. So essentially that, helps students who are, who don't live in New York but are serious about our curriculum. It means, for instance, one way of doing this is just coming to the 4 weekends that are practical training is one way of going about it. So that will reduce your travel time to get to New York. And then the other 6 modules, well, it'd be great if you can make some of them, but the other 6 modules, they're more intellectually inclined. They're, it's the teacher in the classroom, and so it's a little bit easier to watch, online, rather than, the practical weekends. We also film them, and, you can watch them online, but we really encourage our, online students to get to the practical weekends. So we would love to start a school in Texas, but we'd also love you to come here.
Okay. So let's see if we have any other questions. Okay, so which weekends are practical training?
Which weekends are practical training? Yep, module 2, which is in November, is your first practical training with Melanie. And then the module 4 in January is practical training with Melanie. Then I think she's teaching the, when is it, Inga? The first
March.
weekend of March?
Yes.
That's her third training. Then Nam Sing is the April module. So they are your 4 practical cooking weekends. And then, of course, we also have our Barefoot Doctor, which is quite practical in the sense of, acupressure and shiatsu and compresses and home remedies and so forth. So you could consider that Barefoot Doctor weekend quite practical as well.
So we could say that 5 of the weekends are more practical than lectures, but also among the lecture weekends, for example, the weekend with Nam Sing, it has aspects of exercise
No, I
and
just mentioned
meditation.
That's
in April, yeah.
So that's weekend number 9.
Oh, you're talking about Robert Sachs.
Robert Sachs, yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you said Nam Sing, Inga. Yeah, of course. Robert Sachs is also quite practical as well in terms of exercises and meditation and so forth. Yes, and group exercises with diagnosis and so forth. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? Let's see. Okay, so we are running a little bit out of time. So if you have any other questions, please email them to either Inga or info@academyhealingnutrition.com, and we will be able to answer them by email. Or also call us at 646-812-0091, and we will be able to assist you as well. Also wanted to remind you that for participating in this webinar today, you can get $300 off the tuition if you register within tomorrow. And if you would like to get more information about the program, also please get on our email list or go to our website, www.academyhealingnutrition.com, and you will find information about tuition, payment plans, the schedule, faculty, and the curriculum. So we hope that you will connect with us. And I guess we have to close the webinar. We're really running out of time. So thank you, Roger, and thank you, Marian,
Yeah,
for
thank you.
answering the
Thank you,
question.
Inga.
And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.